Hey, this is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com. I wanted to go over this affidavit. This affidavit, if you end up being sued in court, this is the affidavit that can end up making you lose your case if you're number one, if the judge interprets it interprets it the wrong way. And I'm going to go over in this video exactly what you need to tell the judge in a nice way that this affidavit is really not even worth the paper that it was placed on. So the debt collectors make this affidavit to make it look like the debt was legitimate, the accounting was legitimate, because they couldn't just come into court and just say, we know that this account is 100% legit and we want to collect the money. They have to kind of make like a little paper trail. And this is one of the things that they do, other than making, printing out a couple of the bank statements or the statements that they get. They're going to also include this, and there's other documents like the bill of sale. But this is the one that is really kind of tricking up the court, because in a way they make it look like it's coming from the original creditor. But if you read it clearly, it is actually coming from an employee of the company. So look right here. And uh, all the time, well, not all the time, but a lot of the times when I've talked with clients or spoken with people that are facing these lawsuits, they don't even really read this sheet for what it is. So if we look at it, it says, I am a competent person over the age of 18 years of age. I am employed by CKS Prime Investments LLC. This is a company that buys debt. And it says here, the scope of my job responsibilities include the oversight of credit accounts maintained by CKS Prime Investments LLC. In the performance of my duties for, they repeat them again, I am familiar with the manner and method by which, in the company, I'm not going to repeat it again, creates and maintains its normal business books and records, including computer records and its credit accounts. CKS Prime Investments LLC is the current owner of successor to or holder in due course of the obligation sued upon. So, but the impression that they are trying to give is that CKS Prime Investments was actually collecting and sending out statements and collecting payments before this debt went bad. They were not collecting any of the debts, any of the payments from this account, but they give that impression. So, what is CKS Prime Investments employees' actual job? What is their actual job that they're doing? And what is the impression of a job that they're doing? The actual job that they're doing is they bring in accounts and they see that this is what the amount is that was owed to the previous original creditor, and we're going to put it on paper that we want to collect it. They haven't lost anything. They buy these for pennies on the dollar. But let's just say that they did. What is this person accounting for the $10 that they could have bought this account for, or $100 that they bought this account for, and they're maintaining the records on the $100 or the $10 or whatever they bought the account for? Regardless of what they say, they did not buy the account for what they have not been doing the accounting for this particular account. So, if any questions were asked of them about payments made to the original creditor, would they be able to answer that? With this person that's over 18 years old that signed this affidavit, would they be able to answer that question? If any payments were not credited when they should have been credited, could this person who is over 18 years old, employed by CKS Prime Investments LLC, would they be able to answer that question? Would this person that's over the age of 18 employed by CKS Prime Investments LLC be able to give the person who's being sued a document that shows that they were allowed to have access to their private information. So you can see how these documents are misleading the court, and they're getting away with it because people are not asking the right questions. So the number one thing that you would ask when you see this document to actually counteract this document when it's submitted with the complaint summons complaint package is that you would just tear it apart by saying that number one, this was not something that was created by the original creditor, and that this CKS Prime Investments LLC has no information, no payment history, they have no access to that payment history, and they do not work for the original creditor. And you would then make your request to get the information that the original creditor would have had pertaining to the whole history of the account, and you want that so you can review it, so you can see if it's correct, and then we can get to talking about what's going to go on with the potential settlement if all of that information is provided for you to review. And I believe that any judge that heard you state it that way would give you the opportunity to at least be able to review it. The other document that I want you to be aware of, and I'm going to pause the video for a second. Okay, now from the next document that you need to be careful and be ready to scrutinize is the certificate of sale. This one here says certificate of loan sale, but basically all this was that it was transferred and to the company that ended up taking over this debt. And I remember dealing with this one here. This was one that was actually transferred over, I think, 60 or 70 times. So how would they have all of the information? But when you're looking at this, what is missing from this document? It does not have any information about the individual's name, does not have any information about the specific account number, doesn't have any information about the amount. It has nothing. So a document like this is just placed in there to just make it look like there's just more information to build their case. When you look at this document for what it is, it's really nothing. It's really nothing when you if you challenge it the right way and you ask them to give you information. What loan are they talking about? Uh, did the original creditor sell them a package of loans? Did they sell them one specific? So you can see that there's a lot of problems with this, and I see debt collectors coming up with these different letters, and these are letters that are produced by them. They're not even usually produced by the actual company that is selling the debt. And if you can look at this one here below, it says that it was produced by WebBank. Well, uh, it was produced by WebBank, but when we looked at the other documents that came with it, WebBank did not even sell it originally to the company that is doing the lawsuit right now against this individual. It was sold 70 times before it got to this CSK Prime Investments LLC. So I'm making you aware of these documents, and what you should do is when you get documents from these debt collectors, is you just put them down on the table, and you just need to scrutinize for what is missing. Look at it, read it, and then you think to yourself, what do they have on that document that proves that it that the debt that they're trying to sue you for belongs to you? And so from that, then what you do is you start to put that answer, or you have those answers inside of your responses to the court summons, and then you would also have that in your responses for your affirmative defense. All right, so I'm in the video here. I just want to make you aware of these. We had some questions from customers, and we've been seeing that people that are responding from YouTube videos are saying that the judges are actually allowing the debt collectors to win by just saying that they had an affidavit that someone signed saying that the debt was valid. And I'm just wanted to make you aware of how you can challenge that assertion that from an affidavit because it doesn't mean exactly what they're trying to say it means, but it can be interpreted that way. All right, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my validation process and my two-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website scores.com. If you have debt collectors coming after you, you can stop them faster before it goes to court by using one of my three letters, the cease and desist collection activities letter, the debt validation letter, so you can go back and forth, or my statute of limitations letter for debt that they're trying to collect that's past the legal statute of limitations to collect. Thank you for your time. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment, share, and thank you for your time again. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the creditrepairshop.com.